Did you know that giving CPR can double or even triple a person's chance of surviving and living through cardiac arrest? Someone who goes into cardiac arrest cannot breathe and they need someone else to breathe for them. They are unable to get the correct amount of blood functioning throughout their body and need someone to do the pumping for them. I have taken a few different classes that provided me with information and details to give proper CPR. However, the most effective class I took was first aid through the American Red Cross. All of the information I am sharing with you today will be guided through their organization. Today I'm going to explain to you what CPR is, what procedures to do before giving CPR, and how to give proper CPR. First of all, I would like to explain to you what CPR is and why it is needed. CPR is short for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It is a life-saving procedure performed when the heart stops beating. CPR is important because it keeps the blood flow active and it also extends the opportunity for a successful resuscitation once trained medical personnel are at the scene. Before giving CPR, you must first survey the scene and make sure that it is safe for both you and the victim. You must also check for responsiveness by yelling the victim's name, tapping on their shoulders, like this, and checking to see if their chest will rise and fall. If the victim shows signs of breathing and is responsive, they do not need CPR. If the victim does need CPR, and you have determined that they need medical assistance, your next step would be to call 911 or have someone else on the scene dial 911 and give the operator as much information as possible so it is easier for medical assistants to do their job once they have arrived. Once you have had someone dial 911, you may begin with the first step of CPR. Now that we are moving into the main steps of CPR, you will have a better idea of what to do. The first step of CPR is to interlock your fingers like this and to place your hands on top of one another like this and place your hand in the middle of the chest. Once you have placed your hands in the middle of the chest, you are able to move on to the next step of CPR. The American Red Cross stated that compressions are the act of applying pressure to the victim's chest in order to help blood flow throughout their heart. You are breathing for them, so you must remember that. In order to have proper compressions, you must make sure your arms are straight and locked in like this. If your arms are like this, you will be ineffective while giving your compressions. You also must make sure that your hands don't go any more than 2 inches into their chest. If it goes too far, you may even puncture their lungs by breaking their ribs. Proper compressions should look like this. You're supposed to get everything into it. The next step is rescue breaths. To prepare for rescue breath, you must open the airway like this so you're at a 90-degree angle. You must apply pressure to the forehead and push up on the chin. With this hand, you must apply pressure to the forehead and squeeze their nostril. Once you're ready for a rescue breath, you just take a normal breath and blow into their mouth like so. If you put too much air into their airways, you may burst their lung, as stated by the American Red Cross. Once you have completed the rescue breath, you must do another. After 30 chest compressions, you only need to do 2 rescue breaths. Once you have completed the 2 rescue breaths, you may watch for the rise and fall of the chest for 3 seconds, but no longer. If the victim is showing signs of rise and fall, you have done the right thing, but if the victim isn't, you must continue with your CPR and your compressions. Now that you know the steps to giving proper CPR, you may want to take a CPR class offered by many different organizations to become a certified cardiopulmonary resuscitator. Today we have discussed what CPR is, how to prepare for CPR, and how to give proper CPR. In a recent article by the New Cleveland Clinic survey, They stated that at least 54% of Americans know how to give proper CPR, but 24% of Americans are properly prepared and certified by an organization. Giving CPR